Welcome back. We are at the entrance of Fort Joy, and this is the first major settlement in the game. Lots of NPCs to talk to, lots of
Come on,
quests
old
and
man. I can't wait all day.
dialogues to be found. And yeah, we have to get rid of one of our party members, because my lone wolf talent is disabled at the moment, and we are going to get rid of Fane. I guess we'll recruit him back later to continue his quest. But
Is it not enough that you travel with me? Must you speak too?
for the moment, he has no quests available in this area, so let's just get rid of him. But let's talk to him first.
Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it.
Ask Fane what our next move should be.
Well, I thought a brief swim in the sea, lying in the sun for a while, and maybe read a nice book. Or, perhaps, and this is just a thought, we could find my mask and escape this wretched island.
Yeah, so he wants his mask back, and yeah, we'll see if we can find it. Apparently it was stolen by Wendigo when she, well, exploded the ship. Well, let's see. It must seem very alien to Fane. Ask what he thinks of your people.
Oh, I think of them as little as possible. As much, I imagine, as you think of gadflies that buzz about you. Not that there is anything wrong with you, of course, just that you're, well, not all that impressive.
Thanks. Let's see. Disagree, humans are superior to all races, the most prosperous and widespread of them all. That's true, I think, in Rivellon at least. Shrug, humans are no better or worse than any other race. They're prone to hatred and infighting, but they can come together when it's most important. Not humans are pretty bad, you're greedy, petty, and exploitative. Oh, that's Shrug.
As impeccably mundane as I have come to expect from this world. Regardless, further study will be required. In fact,
The skeleton pulls a notebook from his robes and starts scribbling. After a moment, he pauses and looks back to you.
sorry, do carry on. Just act as you do in your natural environment. Simply pretend I'm not here.
He's taking notes.
Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can find any method in it.
You're curious, this people, the Eternals, what were they like?
Ah, this is perhaps the first intelligent question you have asked. After all, one should always try to learn from one's betters.
He's quite arrogant. I'd like to answer that, but a smirk, of course. That's what you're doing.
My people are a race far beyond anything that exists in the world today. We seek to master the secrets of the universe. We craft wonders to last through the ages, long after your crude tools have rusted to nothing.
Well, if your wonders had lasted through the ages, they would still be here today, wouldn't they? Yeah, ask where these wonders are now, if they were built to last so long.
I do not know. There are rumors that some have been found at the Black Pits, an oil field on Reaper's Coast. I was trying to uncover the truth when I was waylaid by these magisters. But wherever the artifacts of my people are, I will find them. We have not simply vanished into thin air.
I wonder what they looked like.
There is a great variety among our people. Some are tall and lithe, others short and muscled. Some come in a variety of eye-catching colors. Others you can barely see at all. This is what makes you such an abomination, you see. You almost look exactly like every other human out there, just as every lizard looks like every other lizard. Walking through this world is as repulsively bland as staring at a wall for a century. After a while, the very sight of you disgusts me. No offense, of course.
So, the Eternals looked unlike any other race currently alive. They rather looked like a mix of different races. He did say that the younger races looked similar to them, so I guess the Eternals looked like all of the races, like lizards and humans and dwarves and whatnot. Correct him. He keeps using the present tense when he should be using the past tense.
No. No, I should not. Not yet. Not until I know what truly befell my people. And, after all, I am still here, despite the Voidwoken's best efforts.
Let's change the subject. Ask Fane why he's so ignorant about the word.
Ignorant? I dare say I have a better knowledge of this world than any creature living in it. Oh, I may be missing some social mores or be unaware of what king waged which war, but why nitpick?
You agree? You always did find history a little tedious.
Waiting for a letter is tedious. What I have gone through is torture. Your history is an interminably dull list of mortals that were born, achieved nothing of worth, and then died. Certainly one may have expanded his kingdom, or another invented some way of pickling fish, but what does it matter? Where will your kingdoms be in 100 years? In 1,000? They will all be dust, along with each and every one of your great heroes.
Ask the skeleton what is worth knowing then.
Your people and nations come and go, mayflies screaming their importance at a universe that cannot listen. But the universe is always there. The laws that govern your states change over centuries, but the laws of the world... Even when my people walked this land, a dropped apple still fell to the ground.
Well, he's referring to science, obviously. So, yeah, the laws of nature are what interests him. They stay the same even when the people that are alive change.
I have yet to see the mortal king that can decree all apples must fall up from their trees, or order fire to produce cold instead of heat. No, these laws stretch to infinity. Understanding them lets you understand the world. That is knowledge worth having. Everything else is arguing over who has built the prettiest sandcastle as the waves creep closer.
A true scientist. So, this mask he's looking for, what is it exactly?
The Mask of the Shapeshifter? In my time, it was nothing more than a novelty. A toy, really. I crafted one for my child once. She spent the day trying to convince me that she was her mother, even though the face I used looked nothing like her. Of course, now that toy could be the difference between life and... well, it makes a difference. With that mask, I can shapeshift and walk through this world looking like any other simple mortal. I could look like a lizard, a dwarf, a human, any creature whose face I can procure. It certainly makes traveling through towns easier.
Interesting. Ask how he crafts a shapeshifting mask exactly.
Oh, it's quite simple. One just acquires a face, a source orb, and combines the two to make a face mask. Combining several of these single face masks along with a source orb will produce a mask of the shapeshifter. Frankly, I'm amazed everyone isn't doing it.
Wonder how he feels about having to hide his true face in fear.
Fear? Please. Why would I fear these creatures?
Well, they did collar you and imprison you, so that's why.
It's a practical choice. Nothing more. Moving through this world is so much easier when you don't have to lecture some torch-wielding lunatics on the dangers of an open flame.
Not thoughtfully. Toy or not, it could be a powerful weapon.
Trust you bloody-minded beasts to turn a child's trinket into a wicked purpose. People like you are the reason it must be recovered. I am using the mask to keep myself safe from the violence of this world. Who knows what evil it could do in the hands of some mortal witch.
Suggests that maybe there aren't that many spare faces lying around.
Oh, of course there are. How many hundreds of thousands of you people have died over the years? Almost all of them seem to have been disposed of while still wearing perfectly serviceable faces. It's a terrific waste. Still, without the proper tool to remove the face from a corpse, I cannot take advantage of the many cadavers you're providing. So if you happen across anything that seems capable of ripping a face off a body, please do let me know.
This reminds me a lot of Game of Thrones, of the faceless people. Pretty much the same. Yeah, drop the topic and ask something else. Tell him you take a leave. I'll just take his stuff before I send him on his way. Let's see. Pain. Yeah, you can keep your poison, but I'll have all of that, please. Thank you. You could keep that too. Oh, he still has the chest. We'll take care of that later. Yeah, alright.
Is it not enough that you travel with? Go on then, bark away. Let's
Tell
see
him
if we
you'd
can
like to
find
go
any
your
method in
separate
it.
ways, for now at least.
Are you certain you want to dismiss your companion?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I can imagine it might be somewhat difficult for you to forever be in my shadow.
Ah,
Go on then, play in the sun. I have actual work to do.
alright, you go and have fun with your actual work. Alright, let's talk to the Red Prince while we're at it.
Deplorable surrounding for an agreeable conversation, but go ahead.
Ask the Red Prince what you should do next.
I intend to rule an empire one day, not a tiny outcropping in the sea, lording over gulls and guppy fish. To that end, I suggest we focus on the obvious. A farewell to Fort Joy and a hello to the mainland.
Say you're happy he survived the shipwreck you were in.
As am I. A prince should die of old age or on the battlefield. Anything else could be construed as weakness of character. That said, I've the distinct feeling I wasn't meant to die today, for despite your heroics, I was still cast into the water. I sank. I drowned. But there was something in the water. A voice made of air that soothed my flooding lungs. There was sudden light, warmth, life.
So we weren't the only one who heard this strange, bodiless voice. Express amazement. You too heard a voice as you lay tossing in the waves.
Truly, how intriguing. To hear a voice whilst drowning is a rather specific delusion to share, is it not? Still, I wonder if...
He hesitates.
Are you a religious person?
Hell no.
I'm rather relieved to hear it. Religious persons tend to be all too self-important in their supposed humility. As for myself, I perform the ancient rites of prayer and ceremony with a kind of languid indulgence. After all, when one is revered by many as a living god oneself, public deprecation would be needlessly self-important as well, wouldn't you say?
Ask the Red Prince what got him here. How is it possible for a royal to enter the Fort Joy?
There was a small incident which prompted my many rivals to move against me. Technically, they had the letter of the law on their side.
So he did something criminal, more or less, which got him cast out.
Such a nuisance, the law. Quite necessary to keep the common in line, of course, but one such as myself it should exempt as a matter of course.
Yeah, sure. Remind him he disagree. No one should be exempt from the law. No, he won't like that when I tell him this. So, yeah, remind him he didn't answer your question.
Notice that, did you? For future reference, if I don't answer a question, it's because I don't want to.
Wonder if it was a display of sauce that got him into trouble.
I hardly know you as yet. Let's leave some mystery in the relationship, shall we? We can exchange criminal records later.
Ask him to tell you more about this need to find a dreamer of his.
There isn't much to say, but for the fact that I simply must. It's the portent of it all. I can feel it. The revelation will be world-changing. I just know it.
Smile. Tell him he's got you all curious now.
And justified it is too. You'll be a witness to wonders, I assure you. As certain as the sun, such is my conviction. I will be, then grow beyond being.
Alright. Enough chatter with my companions. Let's explore Fort Joy. Okay, so this is the entrance to Fort Joy, the Fort Joy Ghetto. Let's start by talking to those magists over here.
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty.
Ask if she means those horrific creatures that Magister had in tow.
That Magister, that was Bishop Alexander, leader of the Divine Order, and his right hand, Dallas. How do you not know this?
Ask how this Alexander was chosen to lead the order.
What, have you been living under a boulder? Alexander's the Divine's only natural son. Good man. I'm proud to serve him. Liberated my hometown from the Black Ring, he did. We never had such peace as we did with his battalion protecting us.
The Black Ring will come up a lot more in the game. It's referring to what happened in Divinity 2, if I am correct. And yeah, I think that's all I'd say on the matter for now. It will come up later again. Let's see what she's got to trade. Oh, she's got knockdown arrows. Those are really, really, really useful, and you should always buy them when you see them. Well, that is if you have a ranger in your party, someone who uses a bow or crossbow. Well, I don't, so guess I don't need any arrows. And she doesn't have much money, so let's keep talking to her.
Now why don't you move along and settle in? A magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be a while, though. We're up to our hoods in sinners these days.
Okay, so she gave us a bit of background on Alexander and Dallas. Nothing we didn't knew yet. Let's check the logs, if there's any new stuff in here. If one of the quests is green, that means there's something new added to it. Yeah, let's see. I think I have shown this before. As I said, I will recap all that's happened and all that that is important. But if you like, you can read it. Ah yeah, to the Signs of Resistance we did meet a group of sorcerer refugees up here, if you can remember, over here, this child and the elf woman, and they were referring to some Magister Atusa who is lying in a puddle right here. So apparently there is a splinter faction in the Divine Order that wants to help sorcerers. And yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to make contact with them.
Changed a bit. Always.
Talk to Magister Hansa then.
Saw him, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that scaly traitor what for, they did.
Curl your lip and say you should keep his prejudice or whatever to himself.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Ask when you'll be allowed to leave this place.
When you give up the darkness that's inside you. Take your fault, it's there, mind. But it's there all the same. They're working on a cure for you even now. Got some good leads, so I hear.
Yummy.
You can trust Dallas to take care of it. And once you're cured, your life will start again.
Yeah. Somehow I doubt that. But yes, as you can see, some of the magisters do indeed believe in the cause.
Where is he?
They think they are doing right to the sorcerers. Well, I would disagree, obviously, but
Come on then, Lexi.
I'm a sorcerer then. Vissa, who are you?
Did you see them, miss? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself? They were so close, almost within arm's reach.
Tell the man you were close enough to watch them murder one of their own.
A traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive their due.
Say that everyone is a traitor to someone.
The Divine Order's all that stands between everything you see and a Void Woken's throat. Any traitor to them is a traitor to us all. Believe it or don't. The Divine Order doesn't need our loyalty. They'll save us in spite of ourselves.
Yeah, the Divine Order is really Really good. Okay, let's see. We've got 4 people standing here, and one of them we know already. It's Ifan. And then we've got an elf named Elodie and
Come
2
on then,
humans.
Legsy. Pay up.
Burrow and Kana. Let's see what this is about.
I find any bread,
let's
I want
drop
no
it safe
trouble.
first.
Bread or a brisket, toll's the same.
Your griff teaches you to bully others. Pathetic. This is not your business, long pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this one. Griff already knows she don't like to pay her fair share.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's Ifan, who you met aboard the ship on the way here.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you.
Now, it seems that those 2 guys want to extort money from this elf, and yeah, we can decide how to interact with this event. Now, ask after this Griff.
Runs the kitchen. Means he runs me, you, and everyone else in camp.
Okay, so Griff seems to be like the unofficial boss of this little camp. Ask why the elf owes him money.
Everyone in camp's got to contribute. For food, for protection, no exceptions. Especially not for elves. Griff's orders.
Food? Protection? I have neither.
Alright. So now we can make one of 3 decisions. We can just keep out of this, or we can stand beside Ifan and intimidate those thugs, or we can start a little fight. And yeah, I think I don't mind a little fight. It gives some experience. So let's say this here. Say this sounds like a little more than a shakedown in disguise.
You 2 ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the magisters enforcing round here. A fool never knows what they've got till it's well and gone. Now come on, elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be trouble.
Say that if he chooses to harm her, you won't stand by and watch.
And neither will I.
We got a system, and it looks like you don't want to fit in.
Now, this is going to start a fight. We could have chosen to intimidate them instead, which would have made them back down, but I don't mind a little fight. Now, as you can see, Lohse is currently in this dialogue with those 4 people, but the prince is not. So you can simply switch to him and yeah, get him into position or buff people or something like that. And yeah, he doesn't have much buffs, but you can use the bat draw. So let's do that, and let's start the fight. Alright, next up is Burrow. Let's give him a bit of something. Alright, let's summon an incarnate. Maybe it's lightning incarnate or what, I'm not quite sure what it's gonna be. Electric infusion, yeah, it's gonna be an electric one. This is very good. And let's make an electric totem too. Because now I have electric discharge. Now Burrow doesn't have any magic armor left, so I could hit him with this and it would apply shocked. And she also doesn't have any resistance. Well, let's hit Burrow then. Now shocked is kind of the it's prior to stunned. Now, if you apply wet or another shock to the shock debuff, then it will turn into stunned. Shock does not mean that he will skip his next turn. It just means he loses AP and dodge and air resistance. Maybe we can stun him if we auto-attack him. No. But he's stunned because he was standing in this puddle that was electrified. Alright, that's very good, the oil, because now we can ignite it. And that's what we are going to do. But let's start with ignition. Alright, they're both burning. And let's focus this one first. Or maybe this one. Okay, they've got both 38 HP, so it doesn't really matter which one focus next, so I'm going with this one over here.
Glory is
shit.
mine.
I accidentally set Elodie aflame, but she's got a ton of HP, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's kill Burrow. He's burning, which deals 3 to 4 points per damage on his next turn. So this is not going to kill him. Let's finish him off then. Let's go with a blood totem.
Glory is mine.
And let's attack her. Yeah, that's it.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us.
I've an errand to run around here first. I'll catch up with you there later.
Remember, past the kitchens, down to the beach, inside the caves there. There is a safe place.
Alright, she runs off. She wanted us to follow, but we'll go to her later. Let's just loot those two dudes. Nice one-handed mace and some boots. Sure, give me some boots. I like boots. And that's Ifan. Let's talk to Ifan.
Ifan rolls his sleeves back down and casually wipes some blood from his cheek. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops. Say, you were on the ship here with me, weren't you?
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours.
Smile and reach out a hand to shake his.
He grips your hand tight as a vice and shakes it, hard.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run, and then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place?
Say, the thugs were afraid when he mentioned lone wolves. What are they?
He shrugs, looking off to the side.
Mercenaries. It's a job. My job.
So he's a lone wolf mercenary. Ask him about that errand he mentioned earlier. It sounds highly suspicious.
Everyone needs to make a living. I make mine running errands.
Whatever. Shrek, we all do what we have to survive.
That's the truth. For me, for you, for everyone in this place. Why not help each other get out of here?
You're keen to get out of here. How does she think that'll happen?
The usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. Haven't quite worked out the details yet, but I'll wager it'll be no worse than what'll happen if we stay put. 2 heads are better than 1, and when push comes to shove, 4 fists are better than 2, right?
Yeah, sure, not
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep more of our blood in. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need?
Now, what class do we want him to be? Wayfarer is pretty bad actually. I'd rather go with a ranger instead, because Wayfarer also has a point in geomancy, and yeah, it's kind of useless. Question is, if I choose
Dexterous
ranger...
arts. What are you looking for exactly? A tapestry embroiderer?
Yeah. Question is what his civil ability will be when I choose ranger, because I still need someone with lawmaster. Okay, lawmaster, we have lawmaster skill, but I still need someone with thievery skills. Although I did want to put them on beasts, so yeah, let's just go with the ranger, see what happens.
Can do. Onwards.
Not. That settles it.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods back at you.
Right you are. Lead the way.
Alright, let's see. What does he have? He has a mysterious letter. Let's see what this says. Ben Metz, your target is none other than Divine Bishop Alexander, leader of the Divine Order. Get close and show our benefactor why the Silver Claw is the most feared amongst all the lone wolves. For some aid with your mission, seek Magister Boris in the Ghetto. Speak our motto, whatever, to identify yourself. May the moon light your tracks. Roost Anlon. Interesting. So,
Time to find this Boris fellow.
So he's on a mission to kill Alexander.
Ah, you've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean?
Beam with excitement and say we are killing Alexander.
He raises an eyebrow and folds his arms, appraising you.
Me, not you. It's my contract. But you can come along for the ride.
Not. It won't be easy, but you'll help.
Good to know. And likewise, with whatever errands of your own you have.
Let's see what else he's got to say.
I'd say we're making good progress already, no?
Tell him you're glad you went back for him when the ship was sinking.
I am too, I must say. Good to know someone's got your back when the going's tough.
Tell Ifan you're a bit lost in Fort Joy. What does he think you should do now?
Well, I've got a contract to complete. After that, getting the hell out of Fort Misery seems the best option. I figure we track down my inside man, and then we take it from there.
Say you're curious about him. Can you ask him a question?
He freezes and shoots you a wary glance, looking for all the world like a wild animal caught in the lantern light of a racing carriage.
Well, why not? Go ahead.
One sorcerer to another. Wonder what Ifan thinks of the Divine Order.
Not much, I'll tell you that. Why? What do you think of them?
Mutter that the void would be too good for the lot of them.
Ha! I figured you for someone who wouldn't buckle under their yoke so easily. Come on, get your spirits up. I'll wager they can't keep the likes of us locked up too long. Let's poke around and see if we can sniff out some blind spots in their surveillance. I'd say we're making good progress already, no?
Say you're curious about him.
If you must.
Eyeing his hand resting casually on his weapon, ask how many contracts Ifan has fulfilled.
Ifan begins counting on his fingers and muttering to himself. This goes on for quite some time.
43, give or take.
Raise your eyebrows and tell him that's far more people than you've killed.
Ifan nods ruefully and barks a laugh.
It's not a competition. It's my job. What else do you want to know?
Tell him you've noticed he moves with the bearing of a soldier. Did he serve?
That I did. In Lucian's own army.
Marvel. How did one of Lucian's own end up as a lone wolf?
He presses his lips tightly together and looks away. There's a coldness in his eyes you haven't seen until now.
There's a reason I don't wear order garb anymore. But let's talk about those old days another time.
not. You understand not wanting to talk about the past.
Thanks for understanding. Now, let's keep moving. I'd say we're making good progress already, no?
Escaping a thirsty work. Offer Ifan a drink from your pack.
Seeming surprised, Ifan gladly takes the drink from your hands and downs a hefty glug.
Ah, that hit the spot.
He holds the flagon out to you.
Accept and take a glug.
The alcohol hits you like the void itself. Your head spins and your feet feel unsteady. Suddenly, being stuck in a prison ruled by the despotic order doesn't strike you as the worst way to spend time.
Why would being drunk make you better at dodging?
This reminds me of sharing Rotgut with Roost and the boys back at camp. Wish they weren't so far. So tell me, if we weren't stuck here, what would you be doing with your time?
Easy. Say you'd be entertaining the masses. A loot on your back and your belly full of beer.
Not what I'd choose for myself, but you do you. Relic of flame. That brew went straight to my bladder. If you'll excuse me. Tired of the viewing here yet?
Ifan shakes his head.
I think you know enough about me for now. Let's talk more later, when we've made some more progress.
Alright,
Ifan smiles and salutes at you.
that's all we can talk about for now. Yeah, let's do its quest, because his contact, mentioned in the letter, is right here. Magister Boris. Let's drop a save. You have to be very careful around here, because if you get too close to this door, those asshole magisters shoot your cat and, well, he's dead. I don't want this to happen.
As you approach the unsmiling Magister, Ifan catches your arm and speaks to you with some urgency.
Now this happens when you talk to an NPC which is relevant to a quest of your companions. So in this case, Ifan wants to talk to him by himself, and
I need to talk to this one for a few moments. Alone.
you can decide if you want to let him do that or if you want to stop him. And it's always a good idea to tell him, yeah, go right ahead. You trust him.
Ifan strides up to the Magister, speaking in a calm and controlled voice. Though you can't hear what he whispers, the Magister's face turns whiter than snow as he hands a note to Ifan with shaking hands.
Don't! I'll give you the information. Here, just don't! Alright.
Ifan walks back to you, leaving the quivering wreck of a Magister behind. When he catches your eye, he winks.
So he's got a new note. Just outside Fort Joy, 8 waits for the Silver Claw. Tell Ben Metz to seek a trader named Zaliskar at the lip of the swamps. Zaliskar will be waiting with a smuggled weapon for his mission. Alright. Yeah, this is a quest item. As you can see, we can't add it to wares. So I'll just gonna put it over there. Oh, there was a new book. And we've got the recipe for crafting a bow. Crafting weapons in this game is not very useful. But I get to the crafting system later. Let's talk to Ifan about what just happened.
Ifan catches you looking over at him. He raises his eyebrows.
What?
Tell him he just made that Magister soil his breeches.
He barks a laugh, then shakes his head sheepishly.
I wanted some information. That Magister wanted to negotiate. I negotiated.
So you like the way he takes care of business.
Oh, it's just practice. All in the way you set your jaw, lass. I'll teach you someday. I only do it when it's necessary. And it was necessary back there. He wanted me to kill someone. I didn't want to kill them. Being a little impolite seemed the least bad option.
Agree. Better an offended Magister than a death on your conscience.
That's about the size of it for me, all right. And now that we agree, shall we agree to keep moving?
After reading the scrap of paper he took from the Magister, Ifan marks a spot on your map and looks out to the far horizon.
Now, the next part on this quest is outside of Fort Joy, so we won't be able to do that until we escape from here. So
As soon
now,
as I saw that glint in your eye, I knew we'd make a solid team.
We can send him
Ifan tips his finger.
send him off for now, but before we do that, let's just check out what abilities he has. Pyrokinetic. Oh, I guess that's okay. But it's weird why would they put a point in pyrokinetic for a ranger. Anyway. Okay, so he's got Lucky Charm. Yeah, not very great, but whatever. Okay, let's take the Resurrection Scroll from him and the Minor Healing Potion. And do we want to... yeah, we can keep his arrows. Although... I screw those arrows. Now, you might want to keep shells around for at least the beginning of the game, because you can craft stuffs with them. And they're not worth much anyway, so yeah, just keep a few around. Okay, let's get a bit into the crafting system. You've seen I have crafted a fuse from 2 ropes, so you might want to keep ropes around. Most of the flowers can be turned into potions and well, sold or used, whatever. So you might want to keep them around too. Intestines can be turned into grenades. You might want to keep them also, and all kind of essences. You can combine them with arrowheads into elemental arrows. That is quite useful too. Oh, that stuff can be sold. Rocks you wanna keep around for a while, because you can craft runes from them. They are very useful. Leather scraps can be turned into armor and sold. Basically, they're not very useful, but you can turn them into valuable stuff that you can sell. Skulls and bones you always want to keep around, because you need them for rune crafting. Bowstrings you can simply sell. Branches you should keep also. Logs you can combine with a knife to turn them into branches. And you can also combine a branch with a knife to turn it into short stick. But that won't be necessary for now. Wood chips can be sold. Aren't worth much. Panties, yeah. Sure. Cup, empty bottle can be kept. You can combine it with oil barrels to make an empty bottle filled with oil. And if you combine it with a fuse, you can make a firestorm grenade, a Molotov cocktail out of it. Tongs can be sold, and arrow shafts are useful, so we keep them for now. Now, penny bun mushrooms are the most useful of the flowers, because when you combine them with potion bottles, you get healing potions. That's always useful. Now, how much health do we have anyway? 45. Yeah, sure. If you combine 2 healing potions of the same size, in this case minor healing potions, you get a bigger one. Same goes for most potions. So let's make some bigger potions. Alright, magical arrows you should always give to your ranger and keep them. They are very useful, very useful, especially knockdown arrows. But since I don't have a ranger in my party, I'll get rid of Ifan very soon. I can simply sell them. They are quite valuable. And scrolls you should keep pretty much. They are really useful too. One of these backpacks, this one. Alright. Yeah, keep one of the backpacks around to store keys and old quest-related notes inside, so they don't spam up my inventory. And yeah, that's all. Alright. Let's get rid of
Tired of the view in here yet?
Are you certain you want to dismiss your... His eyebrows shoot up, and a wry smile crosses his lips.
Can't say I'm not sorry to see you go, but you'll be alright. You seem to have the hang of this place. Good luck out there. Might be we'll see each other further down the road.
And we can always recruit him again, if you want. Same goes for Fane. I don't actually know where Fane would be. Yeah, doesn't matter. Let's just make a map marker over here and call it Ifan. Alright. I don't know if Fane chills in the city somewhere, or if he went back to the spot where we recruited him. Doesn't really matter. We don't need him for now anyway. Right, here's stuff for the taking.
What's up, God?
Alright, enough looting for the moment. We've got Nebora over here. Let's talk to her.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove-like contraption fitted with 5 long metal skewers. She doesn't look up as you approach.
And what you after?
Ask her what she's making.
I ain't. Just seeing how it's made. She's clever, Dallas. Made these herself, for those bodyguards of hers. Boy, they're sharp.
She looks up.
You looking to buy something?
Ask how she got her hands on one of these contraptions. They seem pretty dangerous.
Found it in the scrap heap not so long ago. We used to know each other back in the day, you know. Dallas and I. Never knew her to be much of a wrench head back in the day, but once she joined the Order, she started turning out all manner of oddities.
Ask if it was Dallas who invented these god's awful collars.
She nods once.
You looking to buy something? Or do you just want to waste my time with a whole lot of questions?
You sense she knows more than she's letting on. Say her collar is tight and ask if she could loosen it a bit.
For you? Hell no.
Ask who might be worthy of her services.
Worthy is exactly the right word. You know, someone who's proven himself might earn my time of day. Speaking of, you haven't. So buy or shove off.
Very interesting. I actually don't know if she can remove the source collar, because yeah, I didn't get it removed by her in my playthrough, so try that. Try to find out a way to make her remove our collars. But for now it seems that we are not worthy of it. Ask what she's got for sale.
All manner of things. Have a look.
Alright, so trader, what you always want to buy are some crafting ingredients. They are rather cheap, like thread and needle. You can combine those with leather scraps and turn them into armor, which are quite useful at the beginning of the game, and later you can sell them. And well, usually you want to buy knockdown arrows as much as you can get, but well, I don't need them. Also knockdown arrowheads. If you combine any arrowhead with a arrow shaft, you get the respective arrow. Oh, she's got some skills. I kind of want Foresight Infusion. And that's about it for the time being, I guess. There's a ring, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. I could grab myself some scraps. No, don't need that. Rope. Sure. Sure. Most of the crafting ingredients are very cheap, as you can see, and you can turn them into stuff that is much more valuable. So sure, just grab them when you see them. Now, since I have a lot of stuff I added to wares, I can simply hit this button, offer all wares, and yeah, I offer all wares. So let's add gold to match balance offers, and yeah, accept. Now we've got a new spell. Spells come in this spellbook format, and you have to use them to learn the skill. Be sure to use the right character with which you want to learn the skill, and then just right click it and learn skill. And if you go to the skill panel, you can now change your skills. You couldn't always change your skills when you're out of combat. Currently I have only 4 skills that I know. I have 4 slots, so he was that spell was automatically added to my active spells. So yeah, there it is. What it does is, if I cast it on my incarnate, it gets a range attack and some magic armor, which is quite useful. Alright. I think that should be it for this episode. Next time we'll have a closer look around and find this Dreamer of the Red Prince to finish his storyline for Joy so far, and then we'll swap him for Beast. Yeah. I'll see you next time.